Our building report this evening comes to us from Mr. Jake Campbell, principal at Tallmadge Elementary School, which is located at the old West Elementary School this year.
Correct. President Kittredge, board members, superintendent, Mr. Wigton, thanks again for the opportunity to showcase our building, Tallmadge at West. We are Gales every day, and you're going to see that in the slide. That's an acronym that we go by, and every day our kids hear it, our teachers hear it, and our parents hear it. So that's something that's very important to us. Why is Tallmadge at West the place to be for learning? We have on the left-hand side, we have a before-school program going on. So we have kids that are in the computer lab, as well as we have 3 teachers that support small group situations to focus on reading and math skills at that time in the morning. We also have an extended day that's not showcased on here. During that extended day, we focus on fluency. It's a major driving factor. And actually, our building started off, we called it a 30-30 club, where in the very beginning with RTI, response to intervention, every kid was getting hit with fluency for 30 minutes a day, and we did that for 30 days. It was a 30-day plan. That's a direct correlation to student success and passage on the state test. So we took a lot of pride in doing that. Also, if you look at the upper right-hand corner, we have art and action. Art this year has went away from the teacher's hands, and now we have a professional art teacher now. And I can tell you Mr. Warville does a phenomenal job. I would suggest anybody that wants to see art in action and also see a quality teacher, go to Gorsuch West or go to Tallmadge at West, because he's doing amazing things in that art class. I can tell you the kids are enjoying every minute of it. On the bottom left, we have some student data tracking binders. One of the things we're looking at is making sure that students have ownership of their learning. That's a high yield for research on student success. So you will see in many of our classrooms kids tracking their data, whether it's STAR data, whether it's formatives within the classroom. In these binders, it contains their learning targets, their focuses. So that binder goes with those kids, so that's crucial for their development. And on the bottom right-hand corner, that's just a picture with targets and our formative instructional practices. We're starting to get into the next year, the next phase of our formative instructional practices, and we're keying in on the formatives, whether it's electronic or through paper and entry pre-assessments, post-assessments. But some way, somehow, our teachers are developing these formatives that are becoming common in grade level. I've explained everything except for the SNAP Ed nutrition on that. We have Ohio State University. This is a grant. We have a professional coming in to focus for our students specifically on nutrition and healthy foods. So that's another little product within the education that we're giving these kids. And on the bottom, setting goals, building teacher and student. I'm coming around in our classrooms with PowerPoints now. We're at the halfway point, and we want to make sure our students are setting their goals. We see where their goals are at, but not only that, what are the behaviors that are leading to those goals? How are they reaching those goals? We can't just give them a goal unless we provide what they need in order to get there, as well as themselves. So why is Tallmadge at West a place to be for caring? We started off early in the year. We had Ron Deary, who that's a specific social and behavior, hard work type of program. On the left, we have the author visit, Rhonda Friend, which she has a ton of personality and a ton of character that she instills in her books to the students. So she was great this year. If you look at the upper right-hand corner, we have our safety patrol and our flag patrol, our flag crew. Recognition and feedback. One of the major things that our building does is we're going to make sure that we recognize our students. That little girl right there has a sight word. She has a little hero cape. Students get to wear that cape when they meet their sight words, fry words, certain goals. They get to wear that cape for the day. And the younger students, they gravitate towards that. I tell you what, it's an exciting day for them. And on the bottom right, we do, from time to time, have some fun. We have our fundraisers, and I got to join a group of kids in the limo ride. So they got to have pizza in a limo ride. So they love limos, I'll tell you that. It's an experience for them.
Raising them up the right way.
Students and adults. So that's going back to it. Caring. We also have Gales Awards, and I'll explain at the bottom towards the end of this. We have attendance awards. We have student conferencing. Our teachers take the time, and our students come to the teacher, and it's a conference. It's a one-on-one with the teacher. Where are you at? Where do you want to be? How are you going to get there? It's a constant checking of progress. So it's a necessity. Student council initiatives for our community. We're doing some it's not on there, we're doing some homeless care kits. And those are divvied up in little boxes where it's toothpaste, shampoo, bars of soap. And so that's the addition to that. Prior to that, we did have our Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas help for families. Lisa Wells, she's our tech club. She's our coordinator for tech club, and she also does student council with Emily Cole. There's not a better person that devotes time in order to do these things that are possible. She spearheads those, so kudos on Lisa Wells, her efforts. And then Veterans Day, we do have assemblies throughout the year, but one of the main ones that we need to showcase is what we're doing for veterans. So Veterans Day is a very special day for us. Succeeding. We have energy bus riders. In the very beginning of the year, we had 2 books. We had Teach Like a Pirate, and we also had the energy bus. And the energy bus was one of the driving factors for our climate, knowing that we were going to have students from all over because we rezoned in Lancaster City, as well as we were going to have teachers coming together and a staff. And in order to do that, we need to figure out how to make sure that we had that energy and effort we needed. So hence we had the energy bus, and it was about people getting on board. Teachers actually gave me a ticket to say they were riding the Tallmadge at West bus, so that was cool. Succeeding, RTI in action. Data this year that I'm going to show is just for this building because it's our kids this year. However, the RTI in action, what's been put in place for this building, our state test scores from last year is showing solid results. So that'll be something that I will share. But this year, if the focus needs to be the kids in our building and the teachers in our building. So that's when I get to the data piece, you'll see that. Once again, we got kids in my office. They're celebrating goal achievement. So they're in the top right. Students now will be coming to me when they make their goal achievements, so that way they know that I am part of their success, realizing, have you talked to your parents? Have you talked to your teachers? Have you talked to me about these goals that you're making? And on the bottom, formatives. This actually here in 2 weeks and during our TBTs, we'll be looking at formatives, whether they're through electronic or just a hard copy, just to get an idea where we're at with our formatives to drive our grade level instruction. So that's coming up. But we've been doing it throughout the year, but we just want to refine that. The succeeding with the data, the early literacy growth. I put some slides in here to show where our building's at. Our early lit is our foundation. It's our building blocks. Just like Tallmadge right now that's being built, it had to start from the bottom to the top. When you look at our early literacy growth, you're looking at a plus 146 and a plus 104 gain. Those are pretty significant. It shows that our K and 1 is right where it needs to be, so that way we can continue this growth. There's a lot to talk about on this slide, but I want to break it down so it's a little bit easier for you. Once again, if you look at kindergarten and grade 1 in the table, you see those gains that I just mentioned. But the other piece I want to address is that special ed in kindergarten and first grade. You're sitting at a blue and a green, which indicates basically the top of the line, the top effort that we could be given for those kids. and the gains that they're making. So we are hitting all levels, different tiers, whether you're a Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 student. They are making gains, which means we're getting that growth. Succeeding overall, you look at our whole building, since we have grades 2 through 5 that also experience the reading assessments and the math assessments within our STAR diagnostic. That's what's determining where we're at this year. Early Lit 62, a high score. Our readings of 54, our math of 56 with an overall building of 56.4. If you look at that, that's above average. And for us as a building, that's where we want to be. We want to continue to go up on that. But that is a solid score, and that's an expectation. That's what we want. Every teacher, we are a very data-driven building. If you come into the climate at Tallmadge, it is about the kids, and they are focused. Every kid counts, and since we are data-driven, a lot of times I come out of meetings and I give them the data, and they don't think it's good enough. They want the next thing. They want it more and more, higher and higher, it says a lot about our building. Not only with the academics, you look at student growth academically and the emotional piece. You know, we have a great social worker in there, Nikki De Leon. We have things that are put in place, lunch bunch, some of the additional things that don't show up on a piece of data, piece of paper. It's the things that also drive these kids and that growth. Once again, we want kids to get on our bus. They're the energy bus riders. Positive culture, we're a Tallmadge family, and we also are working and continue to work every day on school safety, a safe and secure school. And we're Gales every day. What's that mean? We're goal-oriented, we have great attitude, great leadership, we're going to give energy and effort, and we're going to show that we are with that self-confidence. So, and I have a video.
Bringing you all the latest Tallmadge news and upcoming events.
All right. Gales.
So that being said, it takes everybody. It takes my teachers, it takes my dean of students, Robin Cathers, it takes our office assistants, title, EAs, everybody in that building to make it work. If anybody wants to visit, come right ahead. We'll have you read to kids for about a half hour, but we do want to have you come in our building. So thank you for letting me have the opportunity to showcase Tallmadge at West.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Anybody have any questions?